Hi and welcome to Weekly Wind-Up on KLTV. This is Dave Hodgson with you. The Northern Powerhouse, a grand, if not grandiose title, the government has given to another initiative to close the so-called North-South divide. Introduced by Chancellor George Osbourne a year ago, there's a sizable conference being held in Manchester over the weekend of the 26th and 27th of February, with notables such as the BBC's John Humphreys, Secretary of State for the Treasury Lord O'Neill, and, wait for it, comedian Alistair McGowan in attendance. The government's intention is to bundle together leading northern cities from Liverpool to Newcastle and turn them into an economic driving force. And this I quote, corral the 15 million of us northerners into a collective to rival London and the South East. Stockton South MP James Wharton has already been appointed Minister in Charge, and already founder of Digital Thinking, Herb Kim, has gone on record as saying the assumed capital of the Northern Powerhouse must be Manchester. But cracks are beginning to appear in the consensus already. Witness what folk in Huddersfield know about the Northern Powerhouse. The Northern Powerhouse, have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Nope, yes, sorry.
Nope. Northern Powerhouse, no.
I've never heard of Northern Powerhouse, me, but anything that allows housing out, you know.
Leeds, Bradford and Wakefield are all mentioned in the report, but there appears to be no place for Kirklees and Huddersfield. And, adding to the affray, Richard Carter of Yorkshire First is already quoted as saying, "What's right for Manchester is definitely not right for Yorkshire. Trying to plant a mini London up north is not the answer to the problem." Is that the case? Well, with me to discuss that and the situation all around this and look for any part that Kirklees might possibly play are councillors Mus Khan and regular broadcaster on KLTV, David Ridgway. Thanks both of you for coming in. It's very good to see you both doing a duet together, if you don't mind me saying.
Thank you.
How right am I in thinking there seems to be little or no cohesive voice or purpose behind the already said Yorkshire Powerhouse?
I think one of the problems is the actual democratic process around the Powerhouse. Osbourne, he's talked about the Powerhouse, being very vague about funding, about timelines, when it will happen, what will happen. There's been a lot of criticism from unions, from GMB, doing intensive reports how the Powerhouse model, it needs to be looked at and what kind of considerations need to take place as well.
David?
Well, control will still stay in London, and that's the important side of all of this. I'm very much in favour of devolution coming to the regions. I'm not particularly happy with the West Yorkshire region being called the Leeds City region, and I'm not very happy at all to hear that Kirklees and Huddersfield have been cut out of the report that you mentioned. What I don't understand is that if the Northern Powerhouse is going to be competing with London and the South East, which is a nonsensical comment to make anyway, I do feel that you've got to put the infrastructure, the political infrastructure in place for that to happen. You've got to put in actually the engineering infrastructure into place for that to happen. And as to where the capital should be for this new principality of Great Britain, well, I for one would suggest that neither Leeds nor Manchester are correct, because if it's going to include, and hopefully it will include, Cumberland and Westmoreland, which I believe has got a new name. So what we should be looking at is actually having everything from the Scottish border right down to the southern boundary of Yorkshire, and in fact I'd also include Cheshire in this, because if Osbourne thinks his constituency is going to be not part of Northern Powerhouse, then he's got another thing coming, because his constituency and his county has got the money and we need the money. So it all comes down really to finance. And if government is going to continually deny local authorities the money in order to run its own affairs, then it will not work.
How disappointed are you with the results that we got from our straw poll in Huddersfield? For instance, Oldham West MP Jim McMahon has come up with a merry quip saying it's not the Northern Powerhouse, it's the Northern Poorhouse.
Well, I have to say that quip, nice soundbite, well done Mr McMahon, but it really is broadly unhelpful in everything else. But I'd have to say that I am really disappointed that local people don't know about these proposals. But then again, why should they? Government doesn't shout its stuff from the rooftops.
And isn't that the crux of the matter?
Well, absolutely right. Media coverage and marketing is not its strong point. But I was actually shouting that there should be devolution to the local areas in 1991.
Right. Muzz, you're dying to get in here, aren't you?
I think in terms of that term, Northern Poorhouse, Osbourne, he's contradicted himself. He's saying, oh yes, there should be a centre of business and wherever, as in competition with London. However, he's undermining our infrastructure with huge, devastating cuts to local budgets in the north, with the north being hit much harder. I'll give you some figures. Now, if you live in Huddersfield, for each person in a family member, they will now get £60 less in services. However, if you live in Oxfordshire, you are getting £50 more per family member. And we've already lost 100 million in government cuts and 1,000 jobs. And we face another 69 million and a loss of another 1,000 jobs. So which one does he want it to be? And part of the Northern House deal, he wants an elected mayor. We had a referendum in 2012, and most cities and towns,
sort of kicked it into touch, haven't they?
Yeah, they didn't want it. So this is being imposed on us as part of the deal. If you don't accept this, then there's no deal. But where's the democracy in there? There's a lack of accountability, lack of democracy, and as far as
a lack of money.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
A lack of thought process.
And basically wants us to manage our, own finances, but with a lot less. And how can we deliver services when we'll be in a position that we can't afford them?
Stockton South MP James Wharton, Minister for it. What are your views on that? Is he the right person for the right job? Has he got the strength of character, being fairly newish, to actually take command?
It's not for me to say whether he has or he hasn't. He might have, who knows. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, or lady.
I think people were disappointed with him that he didn't attend the Parliament debate on the steel industry. And I've heard he's had some run-ins with Northern Echo, which is quite a large northern paper. But in terms of his character, like David, I can't really comment on that.
Mm-hmm. We have always had this friendly or not friendly rivalry between Lancashire and Yorkshire, and something that Yorkshire First say, whatever's good for Lancashire is no good for Yorkshire. It's not going to work from a personality point of view right from the start, is it?
Well, I was going to make the comment earlier on, Dave, that when Australia needed a capital city, they couldn't put it in New South Wales or in Victoria, so they made it a completely separate place, all of its own. And this was then followed by the Canadians doing exactly the same thing. So maybe we ought to follow suit and have a completely new capital.
Very quickly, because I'm going to have to hurry.
Businesses will make decisions that are best for them financially, and there's opportunities there for Kirklees to be on the map.
Absolutely right.
It's cheaper in terms of housing. It would be cheaper for a headquarters to be based in Huddersfield. We've got to ensure that we not only retain our existing railway but improve our links as well to
I have
the major
to stop
cities.
everybody there because we've run out of time. Thanks to my guests, Councillor Ridgway and Councillor Khan. Please remember, if you've got an opinion on this story or anything to do with it, please contact us on Twitter at The Weekly Windup and on Facebook, or you can email us at info@kirkleeslocaltv.com. I'm Dave Hodgson. Join us again for the next instalment when we have a report from our reporter Kyle Warwick on the Wave Centre at Slaffwaite, and that's on the 17th of February. Goodbye, been nice with you.
However large or small your business, attracting new customers requires dedication and a lot of patience. Just like fishing, but you also need the right gear. Rods,
reels, lines, hooks, sinkers, lures,
tackle box, tackle bag, net, bait, gas gloves, clothes, and pocket knife roach.
or you could simply advertise with KLTV. Online, grow your business and your clientele. KLTV, your vision made reality. Should have gone to KLTV.